think it's still so important for people here to establish, because we still have so much racism. Like, it's still important to be like, I'm American, yeah, but I'm these other things. There's some people that will just never hire me, even if I like dress up in the fanciest thing and like have all the right things to say. There's some people that will just never hire me just because they aren't interested, which I don't want to have to fight and argue and try to persuade those people, because some of the people that I don't think like really process who I am and what the brand is, I've worked with them and it's not a good fit. Being mixed is a really cool perspective, and that's like where everybody's headed anyway. Everybody's gonna be like one big mutt at some point.
Sabrosura pa' ti que.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Café con Pam, the bilingual podcast that celebrates the power of stories, the medicine in our voices, and the magic of reclaiming who we are. Tell me if you like this. Actually, I've been saying it the last few episodes, and I wonder if it resonates. So send me a DM if it does. Esta semana, I am sitting down with someone who's redefining what it means to be a lawyer in the digital age, the one and only and the incredible Taylor Tieman. If you've ever felt intimidated by legal jargon, confused about protecting your business, or wondered if legal services are even accessible for entrepreneurs like us, Taylor is here to change that narrative. With her signature athleisure approach to law and her mission to serve BIPOC and women-owned businesses, she's built Legal Miga Law and the Legal Miga Library to make legal protection not just accessible, but actually approachable. And as the 2025 Clio Reisman Diversity and Inclusion Award winner, she's proving that representation in the legal field matters just as much as the law itself. In este episodio, you're going to learn how speaking up became non-negotiable for Taylor's business growth, even when it felt completely unnatural. We're also going to explore how becoming a new mom while running two businesses shifted everything about boundaries, identity, and what success actually means. We're going to dive into the real talk about AI, legal protection for online businesses, and why finding your platform, whether that's podcast or threads, is literally the key to showing up as your most confident self. So, if you've ever downplayed your voice, overcommitted to help others while neglecting yourself, or wondered how to protect your creative work in this digital age, este episodio es para ti. Sin más, aquí está mi conversación con la única, la inigualable Taylor Tieman. Taylor, welcome back to Café con Pam. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am well. We're in the recording now. I was looking before we hopped on. You were episode 131
Wow.
of Café con
That's a
Pam.
lot of episodes, and that was a long time ago too.
That was 2019.
Where are you at now?
So I'm 400 and something. You are episode, look at that synchronous. You're episode 444. It's very special.
Oh my gosh, we love angel numbers.
Yes. Yeah. So lots of things have happened. 2019 to 2025. You created a whole as human.
Yes.
We got some diagnosis happen.
Yes.
There's lots of things to talk about.
Yes.
So 2019 to 2025 as we are recording this, and almost end of 2025. How is Taylor different from Taylor 2019 to now? She's a lot more vocal on the internet, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. A little sassy. I mean, I think I was always sassy. I just feel a little bit more comfortable sharing.
Yes.
I think, yeah, from like business, I think being a business owner has made me more vocal just in general, because you have to just talk about yourself 24/7, which I'm not good at, but it's very good practice.
You're really great at.
Thank you. It is not natural at all. It is like rehearsed, practice. It doesn't come natural. I don't like it.
Really? I would never see that from the outside looking in.
Good. I'm doing a good job.
You are. You show are. So 2019 when you came, I kind of drilled you with questions, which I'm known for that. Like I've had people be like, I don't want to come to Cover Mom because you're gonna ask me shit that I don't want to talk
You're
about.
so good at it.
And I'm like, well, I invite you. Even more reasons for you to come. So one of the things that I noticed, because for context for listeners, not only do I ask like annoying random deep questions to people, I also send people a questionnaire that they complete. And it's also very deep. And
Yeah.
people have, yeah, I've had guests be like, hey, can you send me my answers? Because like I just invested a ton of time answering this and I kind of want to like revisit that. And of course we do. So one of your answers, we asked about your the wound of silence. You know, I talk about candid culture, and you talked about outdated ideologies that have stopped you from speaking up, coming from cultural family dynamics. So I'm curious now, seeing you so vocal. Like literally, I feel like every other post is from Taylor, so I don't know if my algorithm is like just
I just
showing you, but I'm like,
posting too.
she's just like on it. How? Which I'm very also curious about how you do it all, but which I will ask later. But how did you realize, or when was the moment, as you share that this is not natural to you? When was the moment you realized that not speaking up and not being so vocal was costing you more than benefiting you
Ooh. In like business owner sense or just in life?
in life? And we can go into business too.
Um, I think I definitely have not been very good at speaking up for myself until becoming a business owner. And I think
Mm,
watch watching other people in like networking spaces literally just like connect with each other and be willing to talk about themselves, and like that's why they like like locked in some deal or like got some client. I felt like I'm missing out. Like I need to start talking a little bit more, like coming out of my shell. It also reinforced, like, because as a business owner, you just have to talk about yourself all the time online. And that's how we ended up getting clients. So that just helps self reinforce of like, you need to talk about yourself, I guess, or be vocal. But I think watching I'm very like perceptive of other people. So watching how other people made connections, I was like, oh, I'm missing out on probably some really cool stuff if I don't at least make an attempt.
totally. Was it scary at first?
Yeah.
Do you think you've gotten better?
Yeah. I think it's like there's less friction in doing stuff. I still feel kind of uncomfortable saying some things. Like I still don't love promoting things. Like I just did a workshop and at the end you toss in like a deal and I'm like, oh, I hate this part. Like I still hate that part.
Yes,
It
yes,
still makes me so uncomfortable, but I guess you just get easier. It gets easier. It doesn't get more fun. It gets like easier, I guess.
totally. My business coach is like, if as a business owner, if you don't sell, you're not a business owner. Like, what are you? You're just like a creator then. It's not making any money. And
Yeah,
so just
true.
gonna have to do it, which is kind of annoying. So only, and I have to fact check myself, but only 5% of lawyers are Latinos,
Hmm.
which is kind of wild.
Yeah.
While 18.5% of the population of the US are Latino, Hispanic, whatever people want to call it. So when it comes to your, I love that you're like an elder Latina, like LAW. So there's a lot of dynamics with the expectation of what a lawyer looks like, and I know that you challenge it a lot. So even when we jumped on, I was like, we're both bunning it out and like, you know, like chill outfits.
Yeah.
So has challenging that expectation also brought some pushback, whether from peers or even clients that have maybe like, wait, you don't look like what I quote expect you to.
Yeah.
How have you dealt with it?
If there's client pushback, I probably am not hearing it because they're probably just not working with me, or they're probably
They're not
like,
your clients, yes.
yeah, probably like, no, thank you. Um, I definitely, I mean, I used to feel really uncomfortable. Like, I remember, like, my office space is like above where I initially took my first business pictures, and I was like trying so hard to look like all professional. I was wearing like a pink blazer. I don't ever wear pink blazers. Like, I don't know what I was doing. I love
Yeah.
blazers. I love like pink sometimes, but I don't like it. That's not what I would pick now.
I wouldn't see that as your brand.
Right? I was like, I need to look so professional. And now I'm just like, I think it's that thing of like making not trying to serve everybody, like trying to serve who you want to serve. That took me probably like a couple years to process that there's some people that will just never hire me even if I like dress up in the fanciest thing and like have all the right things to say. There's some people that will just never hire me just because they aren't interested, which I don't want to have to fight and argue and try to persuade those people, because some of the people that I don't think like really process who I am and what the brand is, I've worked with them and it's not a good fit because they assume lots of things
Mm.
and I'm like, bro, did you look at my website? Like, did you look at
Mhm. Did you get pushback from peers?
I think, I mean, there's not like direct peers that I talk to a lot, but I mean, even to this day, like I'll post stuff online and not lawyers that I know, but lawyers that are just out there will comment and be like,
Mm.
this is not right. You're not supposed to be doing it like this. And I'm like, okay, cool. Do you run a firm? No. Like you work at like a law firm as a miserable partner? Like probably. I don't care.
Yeah, I work with a lot of my one-on-one clients are lawyers, and so we often talk about that expectation of what a lawyer looks like.
Yeah.
And especially first gen Latinas, when they show up into meetings and, like I have one that's like, I have white feet. I would rather walk in like sneakers and like some slacks, like
Yeah.
still, profesh. But why am I feeling this pressure to be forced to wear like pointy ass heels that are gonna kill me all day, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, don't.
Yeah.
Who said? Like, where's the rule book? It's just the societal expectation.
Law is one of those like industries that's it's going to take a while, especially if you're in like actual like circles with like law firm partners, and it's going to take a while. I still, when I go to lawyer events, I dress differently.
Mm.
I dress very differently. I act differently.
Would you call that a code switch?
Yeah, for sure.
We even code switch with our clothes. That's kind of wild.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even fully like if I could show up somewhere in a sweatshirt and leggings, I would. But like I can't sometimes. I would love to. I would love to hit a point where that's the world we live in, but I don't know if we're going
Right.
to.
Where people are not judged by their external, which I think we can also like counter argue that with, for some people, clothes are their identity.
Yeah,
Like I actually I'm a maximalist, and so the more layers I can put on, the better, and it helps me because I'm always cold. So, that also helps me feel good. Like my glasses for me is like, can I layer a couple glasses? I don't know.
yeah,
But I think there's that part of we can show up with our whole selves, wearing whatever we want, regardless of what we expect that the the position or the industry or the role looks like.
yeah,
And that's where I think it's like that navigation of, I hope we get to that world, right?
yeah,
Because I also like, for me, I feel the pressure when I go to Latina events, for example, to like, do I need to be so extra?
yeah.
Like, could I just like show up, you know? Because there's also that.
Of intense lip color. Like I don't really want. I
Right.
would love to do the hoops, but like they get stuck in my hair. But I love them. But they're like it's easier to have a stud or like no earrings. But I mean, my like own identity issues tie into that of being like half. So I'm always just like overcompensating anyway. There's a lot that happens in the brain.
So many layers, because then like to get into even the Latina identity and the expectation of it, like I'm not a red lipstick hoops person,
Yeah.
because same, like I don't wear like these as big as my hoops. Like they're literally like wrapped into my earlobe because they get stuck in my hair,
Yeah.
you know? I admire the people that can wear it. Like it's not to diss on it. And so how do you overcome that pressure to be Latina enough? And even like we add the layer of like multicultural and now raising a child.
I think a lot like the more comfortable I feel around people are the people that I know that like know me a little bit more and like know the work that I do and know that if I'm showing up in a certain way, like looking a certain way, acting a certain way, they already like kind of know things about me where they're like, oh, I don't need to like judge based off of the appearance. But I think when you show up to spaces where people have absolutely no idea who you are, there is kind of a responsibility of like first appearance is kind of important to some people. Um, and yeah, it's like it's a balancing act. I mean, I don't even know. I'm figuring it out.
I feel like we all are,
We are.
you know? And, like, in a way, especially showing up to places like we go to so many events. They're everywhere now, more so
Yeah.
now. And, like, I I mean, you can find patterns. My ADHD, I can find patterns. So, I'm always, like, scanning the room and being like, "Who is just, like, overwhelmingly out there, and why is that?" Because is there a need, an internal need perhaps to prove some enoughness? And so it's just fascinating how society has kinda, like, especially for the Latina identity that's so questioned now in
Yeah.
so many levels.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. There's so many layers to it. There's a lot. And now I have I mean, I'm half, and now I have a little quarter little Mexican offspring.
I
And I'm just
know.
tossing everything at her. I'm like, girl, I'm really proud of her right now because her favorite Disney character is Mirabel from Encanto. And I'm like,
Nice!
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
The older movies are a little bit more boring. The new ones are more exciting. She just like loves her.
That's exciting. Did you make a decision when you realized you were gonna have a daughter to raise her a certain way to make sure that her identity is supported, intact, and, like, in a way, there's no like, she doesn't have the doubts that maybe you do?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's got a really cool mix of lots of stuff, and we're trying. I mean, she doesn't like really understand what's going on yet, but like I try really hard to introduce like all of the traditions, everything, and make everything equally like as fun, or try to, so that she can at least see everything. I mean, she's gonna physically appear to people how she's gonna appear. There's like nothing I can do about that, but having her at least like appreciate certain stuff. I think my family on the Mexican side had to do a lot of assimilating, which is why they didn't always celebrate a bunch of things that we are able to now, because it's like you're able to be a little bit more open about that stuff, arguably.
Mhm.
So like I think we missed out on some things where my family was just trying to be like act as white as possible. But now I'm glad she's able to experience like lots of stuff. Even like my husband's half Jewish, and that community is experiencing a lot right now. But like, I want her to see like this is really cool. We're proud of this. This is a holiday we celebrate. These are holidays we've been celebrating for months now. Like,
Yeah.
I want her to see like all of it because being mixed is a really cool perspective, and that's like where everybody's headed anyway. Everybody's gonna be like one big mutt at some point.
Mhm. And it's so fun to have so many holidays.
It's oh my god, it's the best. Like, why not have more holidays?
Totally. Like, it's so much food.
Yep.
For me, I'm like, "Give me all the holidays with all the food." But I think it's you brought up a point that I think it's worth exploring, where I see a lot of discord of, like, 3rd, 4th generation, and the 1st generation, like, questioning, like, "Why are you" like and even so for, like, multiracial people, like, "Why are you doing that?" And, personally, I grew up in Mexico City, you know, I'm like, la hija del nopal, you know, like, as Mexican as can be.
That's why you're the coolest person. Mexico City is, like, the coolest place. That's why you're just, like, the coolest human.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I miss my city. I wanna go back soon. And I think, like, for me, I was always Pampa Rubias, and my identity has been it started to be questioned when I got here, and I've talked about this extensively. And when I noticed the discord of people questioning other people, like, "Why are you doing this? This is mine," and blah, then I wonder if there's this internalized questioning of, "I don't even feel worthy of celebrating myself, so how dare you?"
Yeah,
And so, how do you like, now your daughter's, like, even further now
further
from, like yeah. So, have you thought about I mean, she's still little, probably the thoughts have come of like, how do we handle, and maybe even people have questioned now, like
Yeah.
questioned you to bring her into spaces, and how do you
Yeah.
deal with it?
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely thought about it because even like I get a lot of fights with people online, but like in some,
It's
if we're
great.
looking,
I watch her from afar and I'm like, you go, Taylor, I'm here.
if we're looking at like her Jewish side, like some people, a lot of like traditional Jewish people would not consider her Jewish, but like Reform Judaism would consider her Jewish. So like people have fought me about like claiming that my daughter's part Jewish. I'm not even claiming that she's like full Jewish. She can't even be a religion yet. Like
Right.
it's crazy. It's nuts. I'm just like, yo, she's a thing. She's part lots of things. Like you can't take something away from I'm used to it because I'm like truly like very differently mixed. My husband's white on white, so and he's a little mixed, but he's
Mm,
white on white. So I don't know if he's as used to it. But I'm like, we're gonna have to be like, you're lots of things, and people are gonna be like, you can't celebrate that, or like, you can't do that, and it's gonna be like, yeah, you can.
yeah, you can. Absolutely. Do you think, because I know you recently traveled abroad.
Yes.
Do you think this is a very US conversation, or is it like a world, like a global?
That's what I've been told. My husband has traveled way more than me, and he said it's very US to
Yes.
have so much discourse around like claiming certain things and not just being like, I'm American. Uh,
Yes.
but I think it's still so important for people here to establish because we still have so much racism. Like, it's still important to be like, I'm American, yeah, but I'm these other things that are still very important and influence how I act and how I was raised. I definitely think it's more a US thing than other countries.
I agree. Yeah. I do think the US as a country has one of the biggest identity crises
Yeah.
ever. Which I think we can also bring it to the other side of the conversation, and people actually feeling protective of their practices. And, there are some oppressive, disruptive ways of breaking through cultures that those need to be like, those are also real.
Yeah.
I do believe it's a yes and conversation.
Yeah.
And when people get in conversation is when you can achieve to a place of we could both be right.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you can raise your child however the fuck you want,
Yep. Okay,
you know?
good. We can say fuck. I was like, can we say fuck?
Yes, you can.
Okay, good.
Well, all of my episodes show as explicit, so I feel like all the moms that listen to me, they kinda, like, either they say that in front of their kids or they just choose to listen to me in their ears.
I say it. I probably should stop saying it in front of her because she's learning how to like mimic us. So I should probably stop.
It's really funny once I start talking, 'cause I nieces and nephews, it's just like who my mom was telling me about somebody who just said it was like her friend's granddaughter. I think she was, like, playing with toys, and she was like, "A la chingada." And everyone was like, "Um, that's not just something that you say?" And so that's when mom was like, "Probably need to start watching something." But hey,
That's
expression.
amazing. That's so funny.
Yeah. And she was just, like, normal, like, it was the expression that she's used to hearing, so
Yep.
whatever.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah. So speaking of children, you grew a whole human, birthed a whole human while running a business. What shifted in the way that you do your business since you became a mom?
First of all, my brain like reshifted its chemicals. I definitely cannot focus as well as I did before.
Really?
Yeah, I like went through a whole I like kind of was I was like I probably have ADHD before I got pregnant. I was just like I think I do.
We talked about it.
Afterwards, I was just like, "Oh my God." And then I got on like neurodivergent TikTok and then ended up getting diagnosed autistic AUDHD, whatever that thing acronym is.
Yeah.
But like it totally makes sense because the like overstimulating everything about being a mom slash like my attention span, it's not just there's another thing to pay attention to. It is like I have severe issues trying to focus for longer than like 10 minutes. And I think it's the chemicals and stuff that were going on in my brain, which that has made the focus part very different. I still, I think, act the same and like treat work similarly. Things don't seem as like do or die anymore because there's like a human that needs to be on
Mm.
the other side of the wall. But like stuff still worries me. Like I still get nervous about stuff when people are like, I don't care about my work anymore because my baby's all that I care about. It's like, no, I still very much care about my job and my clients and like everybody.
Yeah.
So like priorities are different, but yeah, that part is totally.
Did you shift processes, for example? Like, because before, like for me, I am child free by choice. And so I think about like everyone.
I also think, by the way, it's crazy that people have to say child free by choice. Like there's like that our
I
society
know.
is so weird that you have to be like by choice. It's like, why can't you just have my
Correct.
children?
I know. I know. Because, I mean, we can talk about all the questioning, but it's a whole other podcast, which, yes. And so I think about, maybe we, no, you weren't a mom yet. So I didn't bring this up. So listeners that have listened to me for a long time, they know this. Susanna came a long time ago on an episode, and she actually had children like 38, like older than traditionally.
Yeah.
And she said to me during that interview that she was like, I became more productive. And I was like, bullshit. There's no way at the time, right? At the
Yeah.
time. And so I was like, there's no way. And she's like, I'm telling you, data shows mothers are 60% more productive than non mothers.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way. So I went home that day. I called my sister and I was like, send me your kids. And she was like, I'll be delighted. Let's go. Put them on a plane, sent them to me for a month
Oh my
over
God.
the summer
How
because
old?
I wanted to prove they were 3 and 5.
Oh, girl, that's
Yeah,
a
no, I like the experiment proved itself. I went to pick him up. So, like, wouldn't put a 3-year-old on a plane by himself, but just to clarify, because I know people be judging. So, I went to pick him up, came back, and they hung out with me for a month while I ran my business, like, I did life, but I was their sole caregiver, you know?
yeah.
Because I was like, "I'm not gonna have a child just to prove this theory, but I can borrow somebody else's." So, I did it, and I became 60% more productive.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can, like, factually say that it was 60%, but I did because while I didn't, like, bake these humans, you have this responsibility, and I'm like, what I did is I would wake up. I'm that human that is up at 5 in the morning. I know. And so I was like, "All right, I got from 5 to 7
Hmm.
before they get up,
Yep.
and I'm just gonna cram all the work that I can do in those 2 hours. The moment they wake up, I'll do breakfast. While they're eating, I'm gonna shower, and then I come back and we do summer because it was summer. So we do summer activities, blah, blah, blah. They come home, feed them dinner, whatever, put them to bed, and then I have another 2 hours of work. So my, like, 12-hour days became 4-hour days.
Yep.
And miraculously, I got all the things done
Yep.
in that tiny amount of time.
Yep.
So that's why, like, especially for first-time moms, I'm like, tell me your ways. What
Oh yeah,
changed?"
that's definitely true. Like I have to wake up now probably like 5 or 6 if I really wanna get most of my work done in the morning, or if I don't wanna, like, wake up and panic. If I wake up around the same time as her, I'm like, "I'm screwed for the next several hours because I have no time to do anything." You gotta wait till they fall asleep.
Yep.
So just have, like, less time to do all of the same things basically unless you're stepping back from work. So, yeah, you are definitely I mean, you have to be more productive. I, like, look back and I'm like but all the moms I know have said this. You're like, "Oh, you think you have free time? Like, you think you're busy now, like, wait until" and I'm like, "Okay." But that was a conscious decision I made that I was like, "Okay, I think I'm ready now." Like, when I was before we had her, I was like, "I'm spending enough of my free time now that I'm, like, looking for things to do in my free time." So I'm like, "I feel like I have enough time to, like, plop a baby in there that I can still kinda manage." But, yeah, they take so much time.
Yeah, they do. And yes, my now kids are like, we have teenagers now. So this was a while ago, and my sister does say, "You thought that was work." Now she spends her days, like, dropping kids off to practice,
Yeah.
and, like, it's just, no level, new devil.
You're like their assistant.
100%. Yeah, she's like, I'm the chauffeur, like, el chofer, the the maid, the assistant,
The chef.
the chef. Yes, 100%. Which, to also go into the fact that women do the majority of unpaid labor,
Yep.
did you have a conversation with your husband around, like, you already work from does he work from home?
Yeah, he works
Like,
from
how did
home.
that dynamic conversation, if it happened, how did you decide?
I initially thought that we had talked enough through, but I don't know if you can ever really, like, know how much you need to talk through. Like, we definitely had talks about and decided, like, okay, we're both working from home. Like, what is childcare going to look like? We had my mom who can help, who is like currently helping. She takes her 3 days a week for like 4 hours. So, but now she's hitting an age, but
But she
like,
loves it.
oh yeah, she loves it. But she's hitting an age now where we're like, okay, we're both back to like working fully. We need like even more help. Like, how do we deal with that? Because we basically just swap her off when my mom doesn't have her.
Mm.
It's like 5 days a week, and we used to just have the whole week to just like work and do whatever. So we both work from home, and we both like handle house stuff pretty equally. But yeah, I mean, but I also went into a partnership knowing I was like, I don't want to have kids with somebody at the same level work wise as me that's not going to also be like just as equal with the kid. Like, if I had married
Mm.
somebody and I'm not working, then like yeah, I'll take on more of a role. But if we're both working, like we both need to figure out responsibility for the baby. Cause I just was like, I'm not doing the whole like you're in charge thing. You're the mom.
So you established that before you got married,
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna continue working. I will take like breaks here and there, but I want to continue working. I don't foresee not working for a while. Just I love working. So we established that early.
and he was cool with it, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of parents were like, you got to figure out with your partner like what the heck's going on because that's where a lot of people get into. I mean, we still get into tips about stuff, but that would have been tough to navigate if we didn't have those conversations.
Totally. Absolutely. Yeah. In my case, we had a conversation of, "I don't want kids."
Yeah.
So it was different,
But that's good to have that. You have some people don't have that conversation and they get like 20
which
years
is
into a
wild.
relationship. That's crazy to me. I don't know how you don't talk about that at some point. I get changing your mind, but I don't know how you just don't talk about it.
It's a must. We had this conversation. I've been with David for 10 years, and we had this conversation within the first 3 months of being together,
Yeah,
where he was like, "Hey," and he brought it up, and he was like, "I'm very clear that I don't want any children. If you have any remote doubt about your decision,
yeah,
this is your out, because I don't wanna get more involved in this relationship. I really care about you, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
And so if there's, like, a sliver of doubt, I would rather you go find someone whom you can procreate with, because I'm not it." And I
yeah,
was like, it's really powerful. It was hard. It was a hard conversation because I mean, I was like, "Well, shit, like, maybe I need to, like, am I sure?" Because I personally never had this, like, I did play with dolls, but it was never like, "Oh, I can't wait to be a mother." I didn't
yeah,
have the mother bug. I always was like, "Give me, like, a cash register or, like, an office for toys." So that's where I knew, and but I'm a great tia, you know? And so having this conversation really clarified the relationship, and I love that you share, like, even the opposite side of it, of, "I do want children, and what does that look like?" Because
yeah,
they're a lot of work.
yeah. I mean, I went into it like I don't actually know. I was kind of like you. I never really had like the I have to have kids thing, but I was like, I'm also not,
100% no.
yeah. And so I think I just was kind of like, yeah. And I think I really needed to see for myself a point where I could be in a role where I was like around her enough that I'd be, or he, her, whatever came into the picture. Like I wanted to be able to, I think like the cards had to line up for me to be like, this is this perfect scenario. Yes, I want this. I think if I was in a different scenario, I could have very easily gone the other way of like, "No, I'm not comfortable. I don't want to bring a kid
Mm,
like working all the time." And I mean, but that everything, different things work for different people. But like, I think I needed to be in like a, lined up. It was looking good because I probably could have gone either way. I tell my husband that all the time. He always wanted kids, but I'm like, if you truly didn't want kids, I probably could have gone that route too. Now that I have her, I'm like, no,
right.
she was meant to be here.
Yes, for sure. Here's the thing, Latina families have been saving money forever. From reusing plastic containers for comida, folding up plastic bags under the sink, and diluting dish soap with water. The last thing we need is to pay fees to access our money, right? Was in case you didn't know, BMO customers have access to 40,000 fee-free ATMs across the United States. Plus, their BMO Smart Advantage checking account has no monthly maintenance fee. Learn more about how BMO can help by visiting bmo.com/checking. bmo.com/checking. Conditions apply. Accounts provided in the United States by BMO Bank and a member FDIC. Let's talk about something we all deserve: financial empowerment. Whether you're tackling debt, planning for retirement, or starting that dream business, navigating your finances can feel overwhelming. But it doesn't have to be, thanks to Savvy Ladies. Savvy Ladies is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping women like you take control of your financial future. They offer free resources, webinars, and my favorite, a free financial helpline where you can connect one on one with trusted financial experts. And yes, it's completely free. Whether you're just starting your financial journey or need guidance on a specific challenge, Savvy Ladies is here to provide quality and trusted advice you can count on. So why wait? Visit savvyladies.org today and connect with the financial helpline to get the personalized support you deserve. Your journey to financial independence starts here. That is savvyladies.org. Your path to financial freedom can start today. Now, you also talked about your diagnosis,
Yes.
and I often talk to people because I was told I had ADHD since when I was 20, which is still old. My brother was told he had ADHD when he was 6,
Yeah.
you know? The
Yeah.
average age for women to be diagnosed is 36.
Really? That's like exactly when I got diagnosed. No way. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
wild. Because, I mean, this goes beyond saying, but women's bodies have not been studied. And so for me, like I have ADHD has been part of my identity. Like I talk about it all the time, and I've talked about mental health for a long time, and I started talking about mental health 10 years ago when people are like, "Ooh, we don't that's Bruno. We don't talk about it," you know? And I'm like, "No, we do." Like, I can't just walk around being depressed and you tell me to go clean. Like, this is not how it's done. And I was shamed so much by my peers who were like, "You privileged girl that you get to talk about mental health. We just get up and clean or we just get up and work."
Yeah.
Which I'm glad the conversation has shifted now. But now when I started talking about my ADHD, people would be like, "Aw, I'm so sorry you have a mental illness." And I'm like, "No, it's actually a superpower."
Yeah.
And so I've owned that part of me for a long time, but I've also talked to people that have been diagnosed later. I have friends who like me talk about my own like, no, this is my hypermobility is not like normal, like
Yeah.
I need to be stretching and moving. Like it's like me fiddling all day. It's not
Yeah.
that I'm just like a rebel, which I am. But so
You
um friends that have been diagnosed later, they and people in public that I've seen, they get this, like, almost like a breakdown of, like it's this grief of, like, I've been navigating the world, like, threading in sand and just feeling that that was, like, the way to do it, and finally, you tell me, like, after 3 decades on average, that there could have been a better way. which, in my defense, I knew I had ADHD, but I didn't know you could get accommodations. Like, I almost failed college for it, like, I
Yeah.
almost got fired many times because I was just like, "I don't know what to do. I'm distracted." And so how was it for you to to get that yes? And it's the AU and the ADHD, so it's 2. And how was it for you to navigate and almost, like, reconfigure who you are if you had to? Or was it more, like, enlightening?
I feel like it was kind of enlightening, like, a lot of stuff made sense.
Mm,
I have always had this, like, strong sense of, like, our education system and how, like, we all kind of are supposed to, like, go to school, go to work. I always kind of felt like even though I followed the path very well, I felt like I was like, "This is not right for a lot of people," and then I met my husband who is public about his dyslexia diagnosis, like, he tells people, so that's okay for me to share. I have just talked to him about his, like, major issues with, like, school and processing, and I'm just like, "You're so smart, like, why do you feel like the school system didn't reward like, you are so smart, you just went through school very differently than me." And then in getting, like, pregnant, I was like, "Well, if he has these things and I maybe have some stuff, I should probably see if there's any diagnosis there because she's gonna be higher likelihood." It was very, like, enlightening for me to understand a lot, especially with the autism diagnosis. Because I was like, "Oh, a lot of stuff makes sense."
when you announced it, I was like, "I knew it." She sees patterns in ways that regular schmegular people doesn't do
Right?
it.
Because some people are like, how are you so good at certain things?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And, like, some people and I'm just like, "Law school's just, like, memorizing stuff. What are you guys talking about?" And everybody's like, "No, law
It's
school's"
really
and
hard.
then now looking back, I'm like, some of the stuff I've said probably sounded very, like, rude, but I was just I'm really good at pattern recognition, like, and I don't it's been extremely enlightening and it's helped me, like, process, but now being a mom, I'm, like, overstimulated all the time, but it's helpful to know, like, what overstimulates me, how I need to, like, move about the world. Um,
And why?
yeah, because I just used to be, like, shy or people would think I was shy or, like, my mom keeps saying the funniest stuff now that she knows. She's like, "You did used to blah, blah, blah a lot," and I'm like, "Did you not?" Like, she's like, "You used to line up your toys in, like, alphabetical order all the time," and I'm like, "Did was that, like, not a bell ringing?"
No,
She's like, "I
she's
just
just
thought you were
special.
really smart and they wanted to just
Yeah.
follow a lot of rule following." She's like, "You love following rules." Like, okay.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's like, I think if I had, not done well in, like, the traditional systems, I probably would have had that, like, grief breakdown thing, but I feel like I've been able to kind of use it to find success, so that I'm lucky
Mm,
in that sense, but I think if I had been, like, very disappointed in, like, past achievements or things, I would have been like, "That's why nothing ever worked for me," because it doesn't
mm,
work for a lot of people that are neurodivergent of any form, and that's what's so annoying about, like, how things work is, like, it's not which I meet so many people that are neurodivergent, I'm like, "Why isn't that the norm?" And, like, the other stuff, you know?
I agree. I do think there's more neurodiverse people than
Yeah,
neurotypicals.
yeah.
Like, if you really pay attention, I might have some AU in there because I'm always like, "Wait, 80% of rooms are, like, super neurodivergent."
You can probably pick out things about people that you're like, "Oh, that's autism, that's ADHD," like that, and then you're like, "Why if everybody is kind of like this, why is it not more catered towards us?" And it's the
I
other way.
know, I know. Which, now knowing what you know, do you run your business like neurodiverse? Do you think connecting dots?
I had always like, I don't really love, like, phone calls specifically. I can do Zooms, I can do, like, in person, but phone calls really bother me for some reason.
You hear people's saliva?
I give them, but, like, I have tons of options for people if they prefer to email, message, Zoom. I think I now am just more open to if people, like, don't wanna get on calls, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I don't like calls either." So, I've never forced people to, like, hop on a phone call with me, but when I hear that from, like, a service provider, I'm like, "Let's get on a call." I'm like, "No, no, can you just email me? Can you just tell me?"
Mm,
Yeah,
how funny.
it's interesting.
So interesting.
I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, I think when you have that stuff, you, like, learn more every day.
Well, and I'm asking this because I know you started doing business consultations because like, I do from an outside looking in, you run your business really like, it works for you. And so, probably, I'm going to assume that you started doing these business consults because people were like, "Tell me your ways."
Yeah.
And so
A lot of lawyers specifically.
correct. And so, when they come in, like, is that how you realize that you may be running things differently, or do you just, like how did you find your playbook? Was it a trial and error, or did you have a playbook?
I think it was like a lot of pattern recognition.
Mm.
Which that does help with, like, testing, figuring out, like I am, like, super high masking, so I just literally watch how other people interact with each other to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. So when you're like, "Oh, it looks like it's easy for you to talk to people online," or whatever, I'm like, "No, I'm just watching how other people do it and how I see other people that I like," and I'm like, "I should be as approachable as them."
Okay.
But then when I do talk to people and I talk specifically about, like, social media and marketing, I recognize a ton of patterns with socials that they're like, "Oh," and then you can tell they have, like, no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm like, "Yeah, well, this on this platform is, like, on the," and they're like, "How do you track that?" And I'm like, "It's up here."
With my brain, with my data-driven brain.
Yeah. But that's the other thing that, like, business does. You have to do a lot of, tracking and, like, numbers, and I just kinda go off of, like, what I remember about certain clients coming in or, like, certain times of the year that do well. I think I just have a okay memory with that stuff, but it does make me kinda think about, like, how I'm running things probably differently. But that means there's a lot here that needs to be on paper.
Start building some SOPs.
Yeah. I had somebody come in and make recipes for me because it was a lot of up here.
For sure, for sure. So I'm very curious. I noticed, like, you run your law firm, so you have 2 businesses. I would say, like, 4, TBH. So, you have your law firm, then you have your template store, because we just needed to find more things to do. It's very ADHD of you. Um, do you know your human design?
Or is that like like, generator
Uh-huh.
thing? I'm projector.
Oh, fascinating. Alright. That's very interesting. Okay. So, you you run the template shop, you have your law firm. You're also a creator.
Yes, I love creating.
I know.
I like it that's one that's very hard to step into as, like, lawyer traditional, like, that path because those are they're not really that different, but socially, they're so different that that's been very hard for me to just be like, "Yeah, I'm a creator." Now I'm okay with it. I used to not be okay.
Interesting. But you do get, like, creator deals and stuff.
Yeah,
You have
here
an
and there.
LTK store. I was invited to LTK. I'm still like they keep messaging me like, "Are you gonna post?" And I'm like, "I don't
It's so
I'm gonna
hard
ask
to
Taylor how to do it." I don't know.
I've
No.
made maybe $50. It's very hard, but it's very fun. Like, it's, like, fun to do.
Maybe I need to make it fun. I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay, so you do all of that, and you do something else. You speak,
Mhm.
you show up at places, which arguably that's like an arm of your law firm, and but it's still time. You run your studio.
Yes.
Wait, there's more, listeners.
I'm like, this is a lot of stuff. In my head, there's only, like, 2 things going on, but you're
I
like,
know. In my head, there's in my head, I do 2 things. I podcast and I coach. But then people come up, like and
yeah,
they're like, "Wait, you do so much." And I'm like, "Do I?"
like, I
But
do?
see, like okay, so and now you're growing a human. Like,
Yes.
you're raising a human. You grow you human. You're raising a human. When do you have time?
There's, like, no time. But what I realized in us bringing home a dog yesterday
Mm.
was when our dog, passed in March, I think my, like, grief reaction was just, like, make myself as busy as possible. So, I've also actively, like, picked up a lot of things since that time just because I didn't wanna be, like, thinking about what was going on. So that has made me probably more busy than I, like, maybe would be right now, but I also just, like when I have ideas for something, I'm like, "Oh, that could be really cool to try." I mean, I know that's, like, super ADHD, but it's like and if something works, you're like, "Oh, okay, let's keep doing it."
I found the other one. I knew there was another one. You started a Substack.
Yeah.
I was like, "No, there's one more." She playing now with AI.
It looked fun. The AI stuff is, like, so interesting to me. Yeah. I like keeping my brain busy. I think that's a neurodivergent thing,
That's
right?
very ADHD.
Okay, right. Yeah, you just wanna, like, be thinking all the time.
That's on brand. That's why a long time ago when you were like, "Well," I don't know if you remember, you were like, "You're sharing a lot of shit that, like, kinda happens to me." And so it was like, undiagnosed, we're pretty sure, and you were like, "Probably," and then, like, years later, you were like, "Well, here it is."
That's so funny. You can, like, pick each other out, but, like, that you don't really know, and then you're like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah, that's what it is. This is fun, and it's, like, so quick. So, I didn't ask any legal questions because that's what people pay you for, but I'm curious about your 2025 Clio Reisman Diversity and Inclusion Award winner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You were a runner-up a couple of times.
Yes.
How does it feel to have won it?
It feels good finally. Um, and that's, like, a very legal-centric award, and that's all just, like, lawyers. So, I think it is nice to be recognized in that world for doing what we're doing. I obviously, like, love doing the work that I do, but being able to have other lawyers see that that's important and that is recognized by, like, a several billion-dollar company to show other lawyers, like, "This is some good work." That I think that's more important to me that other lawyers see, like, "You guys need to be doing better for your communities." Yeah, make money, do whatever, but, like, you need to be giving back a little bit more. Sometimes lawyers are just focused on making, like, the most money.
What would you say to Taylor 20 you were here in 2019. I would say 2015,
Oof.
10 years ago.
Oh my god, I was still in law school. I think I'd be like, "Your life is gonna look very different than what you think it's gonna be like."
Does she wanna go into a law firm and be partner? Was that the dream?
I think that was just, like, the expected thing of, like, if you are a lawyer and you wanna be successful and you wanna make a ton of money, like, you need to go be a partner, but I think I watched a bunch of other lawyers do that, and a attorney I know that was a partner at a firm, she, like, wanted kids so bad, but, like, I don't think she ever got married or even I feel like she did, like, the in vitro thing because I don't think she has a partner currently, but then, like, the way that she went everybody has their own path, but I was like, the way that she went about that, it looked like she was, like, working all the time and then, like, took a little random break to have a baby and then, like, went back to working all the time, and I'm just like,
Wow,
"Girl, you do you, but I don't think I could do that." And I was like, I don't think I could do the partner thing." And seeing just I worked at, like, smaller firms and seeing how, like, weird they were about time off, and I'm like, "How do you have a kid and ask for time off if you everybody's, like, breathing down your neck all the time?" Which,
totally.
yeah, that would just wasn't my vibe. Some people vibe with it, but
So you would tell 2015 Taylor.
you need to reconsider what you think is the right version of success, which
Mm,
I try to share that with, like, law students now of, like, the law schools preach that because they want people to come out working at the best law firms. It looks good for them, it's marketing. But, like, you need to be considering what you wanna be doing and what your version of success the first, like, legal coach, business coach I had, they asked me, like, "What do you want in life? Like, what is your version of success?" And I was like, "Oh, I think I wanna be, like, a success." And they're like, "No, what do you actually want? Like, how much free time do you want? Do you want kids? Do you wanna travel?" And I was like, "Oh, nobody's ever asked me like that." It's like,
for
"Oh."
sure.
Yeah.
It's a big question that I don't know people ask themselves, and, like, I was just coming from a coaching call with a client who's she's an executive at a law firm,
Yep, got it.
and she I know, and, I have a theory that my grandfather was a lawyer. I think
Yeah?
I've told you this before. Yeah. So he was a lawyer. A lawyer in Mexico City. He worked at Ferrocarriles de Mexico at the railroad, and he was, the lawyer for the people.
Wow.
Maybe it was workers' comp. I don't know. He always wanted I mean, I guess once a lawyer, you want everyone to become a lawyer, I guess.
No.
My cousin is the only one who went to law school. He never practiced.
Oh my god.
And so
Is there like
his
a family curse?
I guess, but he raised me. So I grew up with him because my mom was a flight attendant and my dad was working, and so they would drop me off with my grandparents, and he would always be like, "The law is whatever." That's why I'm like so like I know enough to be afraid of the law because, he always would talk a lot about it. So I have a theory that he sends me all my clients out of spite and he makes them all lawyers.
I was gonna say that's probably why you like attract lawyers.
Yes.
I also have a theory that a lot of lawyers are a lot more are autistic
Neurodiverse. Yes.
that would like to be diagnosed or admit because the just pattern
How to
recognition.
get through law school
Yeah,
alone.
just and like the now that I just know a lot more, there's a lot more lawyers, and which like you have to think a certain weird way. Like I think there's a ton, so you're probably just you're attracting each other.
Well, I do think that he's dead now. So from like the other side, he sends me clients and he's like, everyone's like 90% of my clients are lawyers. So I give that to him. Point is, she client that I was talking to, I asked her that question. She's thinking about a move,
Yeah,
career move. And I'm like, well, what is it that you actually want?
yeah.
You know, are you thinking about this move because you're tired? Are you thinking about this move because you don't like this person? Are you thinking about this move because you stubbed your toe? Like, what do you want? And it stumped her a little bit, but it's a question that I think everyone needs to ask themselves 100%.
I don't know if people like it's like seems so obvious, but a lot of people aren't really like thinking about that all the time.
I know, because I feel like the world moves so fast that we're just going through like motions and like then you look back and you're like, oh shit, it's been 10 years.
Yeah. You're like, "Oh, it's been 10
What
years."
have I done? You know? Oh, this has been fun. We didn't talk about like any type of, we talked about a lot of real stuff, but I feel like the world's falling apart.
That's okay. Nobody needs to hear legal stuff right now. They need to hear less stressful things.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've been crying over the internet. Well, what we see on the internet a lot, which you're very vocal about. I think I admire people like you that are just like, "Rah," because to me, my sense of safety is not quite to be like so out there because I have a mixed status family and,
Yep.
so I'm like, ooh, I need to keep it chill.
Yeah.
So I appreciate when people are like, let me just take the stands. And so thank you for that.
I mean, there's a lot of people that I know would love to be, and I'm just like yelling at stuff online. Like, there's lawyers that are actually out there doing like real good immigration work, like policy
Yeah.
reform, like
I work with them.
right? But I think it's really important that people see the like people with perceived status being like, this is not okay.
Yes.
And especially like arguably, like I'm halfway, like my family's all safe. Like I'm not putting anybody at risk except for my own mouth.
Yes.
So like if people aren't hearing the other side and they don't see other people with like certain degrees and licenses talking, our bar association is not saying anything. And that is highly upsetting.
Yeah.
It's all you hear is from like ACLU and other organizations. And it's like, yeah, they always talk, but like, where is everyone else? Nobody's saying
Mm-hmm.
anything. And it's really disappointing. I'm like, and it's like, well, I'll say stuff, but I don't know how far my voice goes, but
It goes far. We see it. We see it.
good, I'm glad. But I'm disappointed in the legal industry right now. Definitely.
It's a lot. And I do work with a lot of immigration lawyers. And we do a lot of mental health work and nervous system regulation because it's tough.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
so it's intense, it's real. I think it's more real than a lot of people in bubbles may perceive it.
Yeah.
I think with the movement of like, let's just fucking say it. I think with like moving eyes to different locations,
Yeah.
Now there's, like, communities that had never experienced it, like, being like, "Wait a minute." There's, like, people not showing up at work, and so I think the destruction is in a very twisted and weird way bringing people together,
Yeah.
and that's what I think gives me hope.
Yeah. Like I saw a bunch of videos online about like all these old white moms just like blowing
Yes,
whistles and stuff. I'm like, you know what? I love that. They have probably never said anything in their life, but like if it's affecting them in a way that they are being loud, like those are unfortunately the people that some other people are going to listen to. Like they're not going to listen to me. They're not going to
correct.
listen to you. They will listen to like their old white lady neighbor because be like, why is she upset? So I enjoy seeing stuff like that. It gives me some hope, especially all those kids that just walked out of their school like yesterday. But it's like it's crazy. I don't it's so off. Everything that's going on is, like, so not legal or right, or
It's dystopian. It's like, how did we get here?
I don't know. Every day something's happening where I'm just like, "There's no way that that's at all legal or okay," but
Real,
we're
totally. And you're into astrology, so I'm just waiting for, like, the stars to align into that point or where, like, but destruction's already happening. Like, we're already seeing it. Calm down.
it
We're
is.
getting there, we're getting there. Taylor, let's close it out. We can stay talking forever. So we're still with the remedios. Do you have a remedy you wanna share? What's your latest remedy now that life is different from 2019 to now since we last spoke?
I think, especially with everything that's going on, I have to, like, take some of my own, like, medicine and just, like, actually get off my phone for a little bit. I think it
Mm,
and, like, actually do it. Like, sometimes I'll just log out of stuff and I feel a lot better, and like, even though I have to be online for a lot of stuff, sometimes it is just really helpful to, like, exit out, and I know there is a certain privilege to be able to say, like, "I'm not gonna look at my phone, and I'm just gonna peace out." If you have the space to do that, I think that's really important, just to, like, not be looking at the news is so, ugh, right now.
yeah,
And, like, actually doing it. I know some people are like, "Yeah, yeah, no, I'll do it," and they're still scrolling, like, no, like, actually stepping I have to do it now with the baby because I can't, like, be on my phone all the time, and I feel so much better after, and I'm like, "Ugh."
totally. I I started picking up book like actual physical books.
Yeah.
So I have a rule, a scrolling rule. I know. What's a book anymore? And like, I got highlighters and stuff. Um, but my social media rule is I only scroll when I'm standing up.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
Mhm. And so the only way I can open social is standing up. Uh-huh. And that's helped so much because my scrolling time has been reduced significantly. And so I always pass that on just in case.
That's a good one. You'll just see me standing up all the time.
I know. Like she's been walking a lot lately. What's going on? She's scrolling. For sure.
Oh my god.
What question did your inner child wonder that you can answer now?
I was always like, when I was little, it's, like, so superficial, I was always worried about, like, making enough money.
Same, man. That's
Yeah,
why I always wanted a cash register. Because I was like, in my head, I thought it was like never ending money would always come out of that. So I feel you. Yes.
I think that was, like, my security thing of, like, I just wanna make sure I'm okay, which that was what my security was tied to of, like, I don't know, but I think I could be like, "Okay, you're fine, don't worry about that so much as making sure, like, your health is
Right.
important and okay."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess when you're little, you have, like, a bunch of, like, superficial things that you care about.
Yeah.
But I think that's interesting. I think I like when I was little was just watching people and, like, the perception of being successful was, like, being wealthy. I was like, "Okay, I hope I" but, like, some of the most, like, literally unhappy people I know are, like, very wealthy.
Yes. And money doesn't solve happiness. I mean, I hesitate to say that because I've heard people say it can buy it a little bit.
Isn't there, like, a certain number that they've studied that, like, 70, 80K or something is, like, where it maxes out?
It's 250 now.
It's 250? Oh my god,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. Times have changed. Yeah. It used to be about 80. And if I'm not mistaken, like Fact check me, people, if you need to, but I believe I recently read a it's around 250,
Wow.
and from my experience working with like really wealthy, like I have a high profile clients, there's a moment in wealth that I've noticed. That's why I think there's some AU there because
You
I'm
need to
like,
get
I see
rechecked.
the pattern. I see the pattern here. There's a moment in net worth that I've noticed where people almost get derooted.
Really?
Mhm. And it's like a very like usually at 9 figures.
9 figures? Wait, what is 9
Sorry,
figures?
8.
What is
8
8
figures.
figures even?
Like 10 million plus.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, I don't even know how many figures.
7 figures is 9 and below. 8 figures is 10. But that, I mean, I don't know. I have to think about this because I've been like thinking about it. When do we need to bring people back? Like when do people lose their like we see the billionaires, right? Like
Yeah.
the thing that happened with Bezos and like the thing that went up to semi space, but not really like
Yeah.
those are things that like I see them as like people are no longer connected to this reality.
Yeah.
Like I'm just doing stupid shit because I can.
Yeah.
Not saying that the people that I work with do that. Just to clarify, because I just notice patterns of people with a ton of money externally and people that I'm connected to of at what point do people lose track of like a very specific reality and they just move into like, whatever else.
Weirdness.
Uh-huh. So it's really interesting. How do we get here? I don't know. The question is, the next question is, what's on your desk that keeps you like, you can combine it. What's the randomest thing on your desk that keeps you grounded, or what is something that you have that keeps you grounded?
I'm in my office, but on my desk at home, I would do a little bit more work there. I have an hourglass.
You flip it.
I just flip. I don't use it. I don't time people with it. I just like to flip it.
Nice, nice. It's a good like maybe it regulates your system in some way.
Yeah, it's a little fidget
Yeah,
toy.
I love that. Last question: what connects your main character energy in your life? What connects you to your main character energy?
Probably threads.
I see it. I see it.
I just feel like that's a different world. And then when people like hold me accountable in real life and they're like, I saw you post something, I'm like, no, no, this is real life. That's threads.
So, do you have an alter ego?
Maybe. I don't know. I like, and that's what's so weird is people when they meet me, they're like, you're so quiet. And I'm like, I don't know what gets into me when I start posting. Something happens. I let it go. And I feel like it's like a diary almost that people are reading.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, I said that, but I don't remember some of the stuff. Sometimes people are like, I saw you post this thing, and I'm immediately like, no, no, I didn't.
Maybe it is your alter ego. Ooh,
Maybe.
that's fun.
Is that what that is?
Maybe I think it's your. I do believe that we have a highest version of us, like the most confident, the most healed, the most grounded. That's like the most confident version of you, the most certain. That's your main character. So maybe she shows up when you're on Threads.
I mean, I just blame that I'm a Leo moon, and so everybody has to know my emotions.
I'm a Leo moon.
But are you a Scorpio?
I'm a Scorpio sun.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why like that brings me back to like the mysteriousness. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, my Scorpio sun is always like nobody needs to know,
Yep.
and the Leo moon is like be loud and a maximalist and make yourself seen.
Well, that's the podcast.
That is a podcast. Correct. Correct. My Leo moon shows up in the podcast. Your Leo moon shows up in Threads. I love that for us. That's exciting. Find your platform, people. That's the conclusion of today.
That's the moral of the story.
Thank you, Taylor, for being
Thank you.
here.
Thank you.
We can keep just like randomizing this, and listeners, I think at this point, probably listeners are like, okay, we have potentially, if you want to, another conversation where we can do all legal AI conversation.
Oh man, that
That
would
would
be
be fun.
fun. Yeah, because I'm very pro AI. I know I understand the environmental everything. I respect that, but it's not going anywhere. So
Correct.
I'm very pro like AI everything.
I have custom GPTs with my methodologies.
Wow.
So, like, I have Galleta culture, which we trademarked,
Yes.
and so I have like all of the I have a lot of content that it's in my head, but now I have added it to a custom GPT where if I'm writing an email, for example, the custom GPT knows my methodologies, my ideal client. And so I just write an email because I like writing emails. And I'm like, cross check it with the unmute and reclaim methodology. Is
Yes.
this going to attract to my client? And then these robots, they be like, oh no, ma'am, you're being too passive. Let me just like make it like shush it up so it can truly connect. So maybe I do used to use my tone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's still tone.
Yeah,
I think I use it for tone check to make sure I'm not being too blunt because a lot of people apparently don't like women that are blunt and it's rude. So it's
I think it's great. I think it's great. Okay. So maybe let me know if you want to come back and talk AI. I think it's relevant and important.
yes, it is. I think so too.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It was
you.
lovely seeing you.
You too.
Bueno, ahí estuvo. Esa fue la entrevista con Taylor. And como siempre, here's my reflection. I always think back about the gems our guests always drop, about what they share with us. And the thing about Taylor that really struck me during this conversation is actually how much growth she's experienced. So, since our first interview back in 2019. So to think that she was episode 131 and we're episode 444, angel numbers and all. And so that was really fun to kind of like reflect back. Pero siempre lo que me encanta más the Taylor specifically is her honesty about how uncomfortable self promotion still feels, even as she's built two successful businesses and she's become this powerhouse voice on social media. The way she described watching other people network and realizing I'm missing out on probably some really cool stuff if I don't at least make an attempt is like a relatable eldest daughter experience, isn't it? And the moment you realize that silence is actually not protecting you anymore, it's actually costing you a ton. And of course, can we talk about this Leo Moon on Threads energy? Because, same. Finding your platform where your highest self can show up, whether that's on podcast or on Instagram or on Threads or IRL, that's the work. And Taylor's alter ego shows up on Threads. I see it. I see it. Mine shows up behind the mic. Obviously. So I wonder where yours show up. Have you explored that? And beyond business talk and the social media strategy, what really moved me also was hearing about her journey into motherhood. This identity crisis that she dealt with when her hair fell off, postpartum, the reality of running businesses while growing a human. And then, like, not only do you go through the process of your body changing for almost a year, but then you go through the process of like, this thing is now out of me, and now I have to raise it. I have to care for it. You know, that's a lot. And the way she's navigating all of it with such grace, while still admitting that some parts like selling, promoting, still make her uncomfortable. And I love that integrity because that shows us how important it is to stay anchored in yourself while everything around you, not just even in your own internal ecosystem, your external, immediate ecosystem, but even globally, you know, is shifting. So if this episode resonated with you, tag Taylor, tag me, tell us what you think. And find her. Of course, we have all the links below in the show notes, whatever you're listening on, and share it with that business owner in your life who thinks legal protection is a luxury they can't afford yet. Share it with a new mom trying to figure out how to hold all of her identities at once. Share it with anyone who needs permission to be a little sassier, a little more vocal, a little more main character energy in their own life. And if you're building an online business, por favor, go protect your IP. Please do that, because I will tell you, as a marketer and as a coach, legal is foundational. And Taylor's made it her life's work to make sure you understand that, and we all do. And como siempre, bueno, thank you so, so much for being here. Thank you for listening, for choosing to grow with me every day, for letting me ask the deep questions that sometimes make people uncomfortable. I know. And for being here, for lending me your ears. Thank you so much. See you next week. Y como siempre, sigue brillando. Café con Pam is created con mucho amor by our small but mighty team. Content production by Nancy Jaimes. Podcast management by Maru Linardi. Social media and marketing by Brenda Figueroa. And me, your host, Pam Covarrubias. To keep the cafecito brewing and the healing flowing, join the Supporters Club for only $5 a month and access early episodes, behind-the-scenes vibes, and exclusive minisodes you won't hear anywhere else. Screenshot this episode and tag me and share what resonated. I love seeing your takeaways. Follow on your favorite podcast platform and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's keep the conversation going with us on social media at Café con Pan Podcast, because your voice always matters there. We love being on Instagram and Facebook. Gracias for listening to Café con Pan, a Spread Ideas Move People production. For more episodes, guest info, or resources, visit cafeconpam.com. And if you're healing from calladita culture and don't know where to start, you can take the quiz. cafeconpam.com/quiz for Tia Wisdom and cariño just for you.
Sabrosura pa' ti que